Hello everyone, welcome to Accounting 150, our Principles of Financial Accounting, the very first accounting class here at HAC. We're grateful that you've joined us and glad that you're going to take this accounting journey with us this term. This video is simply to help you understand where things are on our course site and how things are going to work in this course. Kind of like the first day of class, we're going to look at the website, we're going to look at how things are organized, we're going to look at the syllabus so that you can feel real comfortable about how to find things and what you need is expected of you during this semester. So make it easy to find everything that you will most likely need to access is right up top with one click away. Content is where all the learning materials are. Discussions, we'll be doing those once a week. Dropbox is how we're going to turn in assignments. You can check your class progress or your grades. Class progress gives details beyond grading to which activities you've done and which haven't, and what scores you would need to get for the remaining assignments to get the grade you want. There's an email link, although my recommendation is that you use discussion boards to ask questions rather than about the material, and using email for more personal things about grades or other situations. And then resources is where you can find links to the library and to the tutoring schedule if you need extra help. All of that is available under resources. In the middle here is our news feed that I will update each week with links to the things that are coming up and discussion about what we'll be learning. On the right is my contact information and my picture. This is my Zoom room link, my personal Zoom room, which will also be on the syllabus we'll see in a minute, where you can access and talk to me, and we can see each other and all that good stuff for answering questions during office hours and other times as we make an appointment. The content browser is really just another way to look at the content. Calendar down at the bottom here, if you scroll further enough down, will actually give you what's coming up in terms of due dates and assignments as well. So, just to get familiar, let's use, besides some other resources, let's go to our syllabus using the link right in our first news feed. And here we have our syllabus. You would also find it in the introduction learning module. Like I said, it's my information, my HAC Zoom room, personal room, the same link as on the main page. These are my office hours, Monday, Wednesday, 10 to 11:30, and Tuesday, 7:30 to 9, when I will be in that Zoom room waiting to answer your questions or respond to your comments, or in whatever way can help you out. Some other information about how to contact me that's kind of repeated from other places, as well as the dates for withdrawing from class for a refund and that sort of thing. Catalog description, and we want to introduce the idea of how we're going to work our textbook. Textbook will be freely available online. You do not have to pay for it. Let me link from there. You will also find a link in the introductory module. You will also find each learning module each week will have a link to the particular chapter we're covering there. Because as you see here, for Accounting 150 textbook, it's divided up into chapters. Each chapter has its own, you might say, web page or link, if you will. Okay? So just to give you an idea of how this is organized, each chapter, this is chapter 1, is broken down into sub-headings or sections, if you will. When you click on that, you'll see that there are each section has got learning objectives. It's organized with questions and then answers to help you learn the material, this new world of accounting, and apply it. Gives some examples, gives some questions you can check yourself as you move through the material, as well as sometimes videos and links to the material. You can then go back to the main page or to get to the next section, or you can just use the arrow here to go to the next section. So, but just as important is for homework, there is for each chapter end of chapter exercises, and at the end of each chapter there will be questions which are very open-ended, true false, which of course answer true or false, multiple choice questions. Those are all for your review. Those are not going to be used for homework. Those are going to be used for your review to see if you are understanding the material. If you are looking at these questions to review what you read and answer them, you can then, in the learning module, check my answers. I provided you all the answers to these in a document so that you can review the answers and even some explanation as to why the answer is correct, so that you can kind of check your thinking about these topics. The next section is called problems, and then there's also a section called research. Those two are where the homework is going to come from. So in the Dropbox for homework each week, it will tell you which problems you need to complete and turn in. Okay? So these you would not turn in, the multiple choice, true, false, or questions. But the problems that are assigned, you would turn in. And as we'll learn, we turn in our homework, then we can review the instructor's answers, and then we can make corrections, all right, in order to get full credit for that learning. So that's the end of chapter, and every chapter has that same thing. So what if you want a physical book? Okay, you can buy a print copy here, okay, and that will cost you a small amount for them to print it and send it to in shipping. If you want even a lower cost option and you still want a physical book, you can download the full PDF, a couple different ways, full book here, or download the full PDF, all right, of the textbook. Take that file and send it to do a request, which you'll find the link to in the introductory learning module. Then you'll be able to send them that file. The bookstore will print it for you, and you'll be able to pick it up at the bookstore. So that is how you can get your textbook in whatever format. So this is freely available. You did have to take a couple more steps if you want a physical textbook. Right. Going back to our syllabus. Okay, and that link was right there on the syllabus. Like I said, there's a link multiple places to the textbook that you can find. Our learning outcomes, our expectations, please ask for help if you run into trouble. I've put discussion boards on the main page, the introduction page, for overall questions for each chapter questions. So please don't hesitate to do that. I will get right back to you with answers to any questions that you have. That's expected. We want to ask questions. Okay, there's a little bit more about the textbook that we've already covered. Tests. We'll have two tests in this class, a midterm and a final. A midterm will be using a Dropbox. It will be a worksheet that you'll fill out, work through some problems, and then turn in. You'll have multiple days to do that. The final will be multiple choice fill in the blank, and we'll have a time limit on it, and we'll cover the entire course material. So there'll be quite a bit different in the way that the form of the testing will happen. All right, our discussion postings. Each week we'll have a discussion that is graded. Okay, it will be. You'll be required to get full credit. You'll need to post twice at least, explaining your answer to the questions that you'll find in the discussion board instructions. So when you click on the discussion board link, you'll see the instructions. Please make sure you answer the questions that are given. Your first posting should be put up by Saturday, follow up by the following Tuesday. Try to use complete sentences, at least 2 or 3. Use proper spelling and grammar as much as possible, and please be respectful and courteous, even or maybe even especially when you are in disagreement. All right, there will be an assignment, individual written memos, and we will get started on this right away. So I want to make sure that you understand the expectations of the written memos. There will be even more description in the Dropbox for the individual written memo, but this is a situation where you're going to write a memo. We're going to use the professional business memo format. If you don't know what that looks like, please Google that, and you'll be able to find examples. I will give you what the audience is in the assignment, so make sure you speak to the audience as given. Your rough draft will be due. Put it in the Dropbox. I will provide feedback. The Dropbox feature in Brightspace allows me to write directly onto your assignment so that you can see what my comments are, so that you can then update your version of the memo and resubmit it to a different Dropbox for grading again. So you'll be graded on both the rough draft based on basically getting it in and reading all the requirements. Once I've made comments on it, the second draft, or the final draft, will be graded much more for actual the content, grammar, spelling, word choice, all those things. If you use a source outside of the textbook, you must use citations. You must give credit to that source, okay? So that I don't care too much about the format of that reference, but it needs to be there. All right. We will, couple weeks into the semester, put you into groups, and we will complete a ethics project that will require the group to work together, complete a paper. We'll have several questions to answer. There'll be some reading to do, given a scenario that you will talk about, an ethical choice, ethical dilemma, if you will, that you will use some of the reading, some of the things that we will go over in class to address and write about. You will turn in one paper per group that will be due at the end of the term, end of our 7 weeks together. Homework, as we mentioned earlier, will be assigned. In the Dropbox, you'll see which problems or research you should complete. I would encourage you to use Excel as much as possible. It doesn't always work for some of the things that we do as homework, but most of the time it's probably the best tool. And that will be due on Saturday, and then you will be able to, anytime you turn it in, you'll be able to see my answers and then make corrections. But the latest is Saturday, and then the corrections need to be made by Monday. After you've watched the video and seen where you might do that. Please, to help your learning, help you do better not make the same mistakes in the future, your corrections should be in a different color and have some explanation with them. Okay, this is how I will grade them. If you make all the corrections needed, you get full credit regardless of how many mistakes you make. Okay, this is how we'll work this next 7 weeks out. Break it down by chapter and topic, and where everything will come in. This is the grading scale. We'll have the midterm will be worth 50 points, the final worth 100. 6 homework assignments, the group ethics paper, your memos. Remember, there were two topics, 2 memos, and we do 2 rough draft and the final draft. So 40 points total, and then the discussions are 10 points each. So there's 6 of those, 360 points. We'll use a straight grading percentage scale. If you have some reason why you cannot turn things on time, even though this is an online class, there's a lot of flexibility about when you do things. They still have to meet our deadlines so that we can keep up with our learning. But if there is a problem, please let me know as soon as possible. Otherwise, there will be penalty for work that is turned in late. All right, withdrawals and other things about the class is here. If you need to reference when the dates are, what it means to be absent, and how many days you can miss, and with an online, it's basically how many things you don't participate or don't log into, okay, that will determine whether you are not participating and need to be dropped from the course. And then the absences and how we deal with that, and then any need for accommodation. And final one is academic dishonesty. Please just do your work. Copying other people's work or homework assignments or tests or anything will not do any good in your learning, not going to be helpful, and will just cause problems. And if I have to discuss that or give a 0, we will do that.